Yeah.
So today is March 1st, and this is the contractor for 3405 doing the flooring, and he's brought my attention to the baseboard by the exterior wall, and there's some concerns. Okay, go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, so what we've done is when we went to do the flooring, we pulled up all the baseboards so that we could get our new flooring closer to the wall for our baseboard to cover the joint where the flooring meets the trim. And after removing the baseboards, we noticed that at some point the developer or somebody else has ran baseboard heaters around the perimeter of the building on the exterior walls underneath the windows. And we can tell that it was done after the fact because there's holes that are every certain distance across the outside walls where they've fished their wires back across. And we've discovered that every spot that they ran the new wiring, they've removed the vapor barrier, which is what you see here. See how there's vapor barrier here, but there's no vapor barrier here. And I can reach right out and I'm touching the underside of the support for the windows. You
Okay, just hold on a minute.
Yeah.
So sorry, okay.
That's okay, yeah.
My Zoom is not doing too good for whatever reason. Okay, sorry, yeah. Okay, yeah, so there's this left-hand side one, the left-hand cavity and the right-hand one. And the right-hand one, yes, I can see insulation, and the left-hand one,
Yeah, so you can see the vapor barrier, and then in behind here, they've removed the insulation, and same within here, so I can't actually feel where the insulation is in this one.
Okay, that's bad. I mean, that's all arm length.
Yeah, and there's no insulation at that point in there. We've noticed it as well on the south-facing wall. Over here, they've done the same thing. And our concern is too, we've discovered black mold that you can see in here, and broken vapor barrier again as well over here. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And then as well in the study, or the secondary bedroom, we have noted that it's been done the exact same way, and we can go and look at that as well.
Okay, and so here is this receptacle over here on the south face. So if, you were to think of how to do things properly, what would you do?
So in this circumstance, I would remove the drywall along the exterior walls underneath the window sills. I would repair the insulation with an R24 bad insulation or a closed cell foam insulation, repair the vapor barrier, acoustic seal the seams of the vapor barrier where required, and tuck tape the other seams. I would put either drywall back on or 1/2-inch plywood, and then I would put baseboard on that would now go from the floor directly underneath and contact the casing so that no additional work would be required on filling, sanding, painting the material that would be in behind the baseboard.
Okay. Well, certainly this is an original baseboard heater on this wall, so I would suggest it probably needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to go back to this wall over here. Actually, well, this receptacle is just more of the same.
Yes.
And then over here, you had an interesting
Yeah, we've noted
comment.
that there's a VX line, so there's an electrical service line here that has been run from the wall underneath where the baseboard was and back into the wall over here. This is not done to code. This line, if it is to be exposed like that, has to be covered by protection plates so that nothing can penetrate into the electrical wire and arc the circuit.
What is a protection plate?
Protection plate is a metal gusset. Usually they are about 3 inches by 1.5 inches, and they mount directly to the studs. So if your wire is within 1 inch of the face of the framing material if a nail or a drywall screw were to penetrate through, it would hit that plate before it hit the electrical line.
Yeah, but how would you do that down there?
Well, this shouldn't have been put down here. This should have been ran through the wall, and then on the strapping that is mounted to the concrete, protection plates would have put over
Yeah,
top of
but I
it.
mean, what would be the remedy in a case like this? Because that's where it
So
is.
this would have to go back over here like this, and the protection plate would have to go down over top of the face of the wire before the baseboard went
Before
on.
the baseboard?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay.
Yeah.
So you'd still, the baseboard would still look the same as,
It would look the same, but
As-
you would have now protection for this because
so you'd be
if-
cutting an inch of that drywall?
yeah, so the drywall would come off, this would go in underneath,
And
and the
then the
protection
protect
plate
plate.
would mount straight directly over top of that.
So you're talking about wall, so now you're talking about, doing something to the wall as well?
Just here, it would
Just
be,
there?
it would be
Okay,
below
not-
the height.
Not a great big deal.
Yeah, it would be
Not a-
below the height of the baseboard. Because at this point, it
Oh,
looks like
okay.
it goes up, it probably goes to this receptacle here, or what they might have done is this goes all the way, this is the feed that comes from the electrical panel.
Yeah.
And it comes through, and now this is what's servicing the baseboard heaters.
Yeah.
So this could be
Okay.
the main feed, and this was
Right.
the only way that they were able to get it to the exterior wall.
Right. Is it the same feed that goes to the next
It's very
exterior wall?
possible that this goes to, like, without opening it up, it's hard to say, but it does appear that this goes that way. So it could go to the first receptacle or the first baseboard heater, and then everything comes out of there.
Right. And then you were showing me some wiring that you thought you weren't happy
know
about.
that these baseboard heaters, of the
Oh,
ones that
yes,
we've
yes, yes.
taken off so far, you can see that the connections were never done properly. There's supposed to be a plate that mounts over the back of the baseboard heater to protect where the connections are in here so that you can't reach in and touch them, because this is all live wiring in here. So you can see where the pre-blown holes are, like the machined holes in the back of the baseboard heater, where the plate is supposed to mount that protects all of this. Yeah, it looks just like this.
Okay, so on the left, on this side,
Yeah.
it was done properly?
Well, this has never been wired on this side. They did
Oh,
the wiring
right,
on that side.
right.
But this connector that you see here is
Yes.
supposed to mount in one of these pre-formed holes.
Right.
But they've just done it like this, which is definitely
easy.
and not to code. It's illegal. Yeah.
Well, as you can see, this heater is not an original heater, so it was installed by, after the developer.
Yeah, and then if we want to just look in the last room that we've noticed so far here, it's the same. What they've done is the same here. Once again, where they've broken the vapor barrier and removed the insulation, you can actually see there is some insulation that is still in there that never got pushed out of the way. The wiring goes down, comes back underneath the baseboard again, back into the receptacle, which is not done properly. And the baseboard heaters, once again, are not fastened in properly, and this would have been done probably by the developer, because this is original.
Okay, all right, I think my camera,
Okay, yep.
yeah, my camera seems to be dying there. Okay, well, I think I have enough to get the gist of it. And, and so in this unit, you're doing, all the basic